speaking tonight will be Stephanie Bonner, our commissioning editor of Mighty Maths. Stephanie will take you through the core curriculum related content. Then I'll come back in to go through the various physical components and the digital resources associated with them. After that, we'll be joined by two of our authors for a Q&A session. So we have Miriam O'Donnell, our junior infants author, and Natalie O'Connor, our second class author. And you can submit questions during the webinar. So you'll see a little red arrow or an orange arrow near the top right of your screen. If you click on that, it'll expand the pane, and there's a question section in there. So you can put as many questions as you wish in there. We'll get to as many as we can, time permitting. Any questions that we don't get to, I'll make sure that we have our sales reps reach out to you with full answers over the coming days. And just so you know, everyone that stays until the end of the event is going to receive a free Mighty Maths summer lesson pack. This is filled with summer themed activities that are all fully aligned with the new curriculum. And as well as this, after the webinar, immediately after the webinar, you're going to get a quick survey to complete. It's about a two-minute survey, and we've got 3 beautiful tea time treat hampers to give away for anyone who completes the survey. So without further delay, I will hand you over to Stephanie.
Thanks, David. Thanks, everyone, and thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Stephanie Bonner. I am the commissioning editor on Mighty Maths, and I'm going to briefly talk about the new primary maths curriculum and the way in which this has been addressed in Mighty Maths. So, the new primary maths curriculum. The final draft was published in 2023, and as you know, it was developed in line with the primary curriculum framework, which was also published in 2023. So from September, teachers were asked to familiarise themselves with this document with the view to being fully immersed in the planning, teaching and assessment of the primary maths curriculum by September 2024. So the overarching message of this curriculum is about mathematisation. So that means that children should be doing maths. They should see themselves as central to their learning. They should be the mathematician so that maths is applicable to their real lives. In this curriculum, process is foregrounded alongside content. And what that means is that there's a huge emphasis on how maths is taught and how maths is learned, not just the content of the curriculum. Each of the learning outcomes in the new maths curriculum starts with the words, through appropriately playful learning experiences, children should be able to. So play is absolutely central to this curriculum. It endorses a hands-on, play-based approach. Other key features of the new curriculum is that it endorses real-life examples of maths, lots of group work and collaboration. Of course, it endorses the use of technology and concrete material and a heavy promotion of maths talk. So in terms of the content of the new primary maths curriculum, there are 5 strands. Each of these strands are broken down into learning outcomes, and these are then broken into maths concepts. So there are some new elements to the content of the primary maths curriculum. You'll see that early mathematical activities is gone. In the algebra strand, we have this new strand unit, patterns, rules, and relationships. In the measure strand, we have measuring, so that groups together weight, capacity and length and so on into one strand unit. Some of the content of the early mathematical activity strand have been moved into this new strand unit in number, uses of number. And while fractions is definitely not new, it is new in the sense that it is introduced earlier. It's introduced in junior infants and senior infants. And finally, in shape and space, we have this new strand unit, transformation, and that comes in right from the beginning, right in junior infants. So Mighty Maths has you covered for all of these changes in the new curriculum. You'll see also in these coloured boxes, these are the elements of the new curriculum: understanding and connecting, communicating, reasoning, applying and problem solving. So these are the skills that the children are developing. These are what the children should be doing in each of their maths lessons. So that's what's new for the children. For the teacher, there are these 5 pedagogical practices, and arguably this is the most important part of the new curriculum. You'll see the jigsaw image here, and this is very intentional in that these 5 pedagogies interact and overlap all the time. So these practices form the foundation of the Mighty Maths programme. We know it's a lot for the teacher to take on in the context of a new curriculum when all new plans are required. So we have really unpacked these pedagogies and incorporated them into the Mighty Maths programme, into well-structured, well-thought-out lessons. So the first of these pedagogies that I'm going to look at is encouraging playfulness. As I mentioned already, the word play is in each of the learning outcomes, so this is absolutely crucial. And our author team was very excited about bringing play into the programme as much as possible. So in a moment, I'll look at some very explicit examples of play, but just to say that play is really everywhere in this programme. The whole programme heavily endorses hands-on, active learning and the use of concrete material in every lesson. You'll see here our little teddy bear with a number rhyme and audio to go with it. So this sort of playful, fun, child-centred, engaging approach to learning is throughout the Mighty Maths programme. To look at some more explicit examples of play, we have this game time feature. So you'll see this feature in the pupils' books. So this is where the authors have incorporated games into the progression of learning. All of these games, some of them use concrete materials, but all of these materials will be readily available to you in your classroom. In the teacher's book then, in the planning, you'll see these playful learning experiences that are in every grid, every unit. So these are ideas for playful activities for the teacher, for you as the teacher to use at your own discretion when suits you. So these are ideas for construction, role play, board games, and so on, all of which will support the child in their learning. Promoting Maths Talk. Maths Talk is a huge part of the new curriculum. Again, the whole Mighty Maths programme has been written so that the child is encouraged to collaborate, participate, to explore, and to express themselves mathematically. You'll see this Maths Talk feature throughout our pupils book with questions such as this. How are these the same? How are they different? So you'll see these are meaningful questions. There isn't one simple answer. It's not a simple sum with one definite answer. There are questions that ask the child to think, to be creative, and to express themselves. So part of the research that went into the new primary maths curriculum was about talking to the children themselves and asking them how they learned maths and what part of their learning was most enjoyable. And what came back loud and clear from that research was that children enjoy and feel comfortable with participating in group work. And this is also the most effective way for them to learn. So Mighty Maths has plenty of opportunities for group work throughout the programme and at every level. And here's a little example. We also have these Maths Eyes features in the pupils book. Maths Eyes encourage children to see maths in their own environment and to talk about maths. We have like cute little illustrations like this one here, but also plenty of real life photographs. The next pedagogy, using cognitively challenging tasks. So this is about posing questions to children that really makes them stop and think. It really makes them explore the why of maths. So if you've had your training, you might be familiar with this kind of style of questioning. For example, always, sometimes, or never. Is this sentence always true, sometimes true, or never true? And these types of activity, we ask the child to think about it, to talk about it with their partner, and share their answers with the class. David will talk to you a bit later about the STEM challenges that are throughout the pupils' books, but these are another example of cognitively challenging tasks. In this case, they really are asked to be active, use their hands, and engage actively with the task. Finally, you'll see this challenge feature again throughout our pupils' books. These are often open-ended tasks, so tasks in which different answers are possible. This connects to maths talk, and it connects to fostering a productive disposition towards maths, in that children can approach these problems in different ways, and because there are different answers, it generates discussion and it generates maths talk. Emphasizing mathematical modelling. So as you know, mathematical modelling is about making thinking visible. It's to do with problem solving. In our program, especially in first and second class, we have incorporated this problem solving strategy, STARS: sort, think, act, review, and share. So this is a very open strategy towards problem solving, which encourages mathematical modelling. So it encourages children to use different methodologies to come up with an answer. This is broken down in very clear steps for the child and through our animated tutorials. Teachers are also given lots of support with this strategy and lots of support for mathematical modelling generally in the teacher's book. So you'll see there an example of a problem-solving activity that would be in our pupils' book. The children are asked to use this strategy and given space to show how did they solve it. Did they use counters? They can draw a picture. They can they can write a number sentence. So they can approach the problem in a way that suits themselves. So David will talk to you a little bit later about our huge digital library. The part of that library is our toolkit, the Mighty Maths digital toolkit. So this is very important for mathematical modelling in that it provides another avenue for making thinking visible. So for example, this is our 100 square tool. So that's another way in which a child can approach a problem and attempt to solve a problem. So fostering productive disposition. This is a really crucial methodology that our authors took very seriously. It's right there in the centre of the jigsaw piece. Our authors, this was really a foundation of Mighty Maths, and they were concerned about maths anxiety in children. And so from the child-centred cute characters we use and the spacious layout of the pages, you'll see that the authors have tried to make maths as friendly as possible throughout the programme. So Mighty Maths provides confidence to the children in that there are many ways to approach maths, to approach learning maths. And with our huge digital library, they've provided opportunities to engage with maths. Our maths journaling feature, which David will talk to you more about later, is an opportunity for children to positively record their maths experience, to talk about their maths learning experience using their own positive language. It encourages flexible learning, so it allows children to approach maths in different ways, often using their hands. So for example, if they're struggling with a problem about time, they're reminded that they can pick up their small clocks to help them solve the problem. If they're doing a problem about number, they're reminded that they can use counters, their 10 frame, a number line, and so on to help them. Perseverance is another important part of fostering productive disposition. So we have a lot of these low threshold, high ceiling tasks, and these are inclusive tasks. That means children can approach them in different ways depending on their abilities. And finally, the value of maths. So it's very important, and this is emphasised in the new curriculum, that maths is relatable to children's own experience. So you'll see here we have a screenshot of one of our lovely digital math stories. This is from junior infants. All our stories relate to experiences that children know about. So they feel maths as being relevant and real in their own lives. So this is the Mighty Maths approach. It is playful. Play is central to Mighty Maths. It endorses a hands-on approach. It uses concrete materials wherever possible. It's fun, it's creative, and it's child-centered. It's practical. So our author team, being practicing teachers, they know how difficult it is to plan, to teach, to assess, especially in the context of a new curriculum when all new planning is required. So they've done all the hard work for you. The teacher's book has all the plans, and editable documents are available to download from Gill Explore. The teacher's book will have all the supports and notes and maths language you will need for those newer parts of the curriculum. So the maths modelling, the maths talk, the open-ended tasks. All the support you need will be there for you. Along with that, you have your extension activities, your differentiation, and resources you will need for those playful learning experiences I talked about earlier. They will all be there on Gill Explore for you. So our author team, some of them have experienced working in a multi-grade classroom, and they know how difficult it can be to plan and teach in that context. So we were careful to make sure that our programme was suitable for a multi-grade classroom. The junior and senior infants yearly plans align as they do in first and second class. So for example, when you're teaching fractions in first class, you're teaching fractions in second class. And finally, Mighty Maths is effective. So this programme was written by maths experts and written by practicing teachers. And all of our author team fully endorse the inclusive and playful nature of the new curriculum. This programme was widely reviewed by practicing teachers, so we know it's going to work in a busy classroom environment. And while writing this programme, the author team always thought about the teacher, but they also always thought about the child. And they know that by following this programme, you will create enthusiastic, happy, confident, and able mathematicians. And we hope you enjoy using it. So thank you very much, and I'm going to hand you back over to David.
That's brilliant, Stephanie. Thank you so much. I'm just going to change presenter, so you should hopefully see my screen there. Yeah, perfect. Stephanie's talked you through the pedagogies, I suppose, how everything fits in and how Mighty Maths fits in with the new primary maths curriculum. I'm now going to go through the various components, what's contained, what you'll get, the digital resources, and the key features of the entire program. So we'll start off with junior and senior infants here. So the components, what do you get for junior and senior infants? You obviously have your high quality pupils book. This comes with a free shrink wrapped pupil assessment booklet, an A4 pupil assessment booklet, and also a free learning journal. I'll come on to that now in a couple of minutes. It's a phenomenal homeschool link. Obviously, you get your free teachers planning and resource book and the full digital library absolutely free to all adopting schools. So some of the key features of the pupils books, they're full of maths talk, maths eyes, showing maths in the world around them. The playful challenges that Stephanie talked about, they're there on nearly every single page, and problem solving now being introduced at junior infant level. You see a double page spread here of one of our junior infant pupils book. So you see it's really nice, simple, clear layout. There you see your playful challenges, your maths eyes. You have embedded audio in the ebook there as well. You can click on with the teddy bear. And our approach to teaching number and number formation is really, really innovative. It takes an auditory approach, as you see with your audio stimulus there, the visual approach, a tactile approach, and a kinesthetic approach. So we use tools like rainbow writing. Sorry, I'm after losing my page here. Sorry, apologies. Rainbow writing, so the children can trace over the numbers in all sorts of different colors they want themselves. We also have number formation rhymes. These are also embedded in the learning journal book that the children will get free, so the parents can scan QR codes, and I'll show you that now in a second. And we use the concrete, pictorial, and abstract methodology. So taking it from your concrete materials into the pictorial approach, into the abstract approach, really reinforcing the child's learning in a lovely, beautiful, scaffolded way. A unique feature to Mighty Maths is our maths journaling. So we saw 86% of you have had your training day. One thing you would have learned, if you are very, very keen on this, is maths journaling. Mighty Maths is the only program available on the market that has this embedded in the pupils' books. It features at the end of every single section, from junior infants, will continue all the way up to 6th class next year as well. So you have maths journaling, and what this does, it helps promote self-assessment, self-reflection. As I said, it's heavily endorsed by IDGE. Those of you who have had the training will know all about this, and it promotes student autonomy. It's a unique feature in Mighty Maths. I mentioned the learning journal. Again, this comes free, shrink wrapped with your pupil assessment and the pupil's book, so you get 3 little books together. What this does, it encourages more practice. This can be used in class or at home with the parents. It's full of maths talk and maths eyes activities, maths all around them. If they're at home, there'll be questions about stuff that's in the kitchen, in the sitting room, in the world around them. And what you also have, you'll see there the little QR code. All through the book, you have these QR codes that the parents can scan, and that'll bring them to an audio version of our songs or rhymes to reinforce the number that's been taught. So what the children will have learned in school, they're now bringing home for the parents to help reinforce and consolidate that learning. Phenomenal homeschool link, and it's free. On to 1st and 2nd class then. What you get for 1st and 2nd class, obviously you get your high quality pupils books with your free pupil assessment booklet. We also have an optional practice book to go along with these. I'll come on to this. This is a huge, huge feature. Of course, you get your free teachers planning and resource books and your full digital library, absolutely free for all adopting schools. Key features in the 1st and 2nd class pupils books. Again, it's the same features that you'll have had for the infants. You have your maths talk, your maths eyes, you have your open-ended maths challenges. Again, bringing in your micro maths here. Again, that would have been a well spoken about or well talked about feature during your training days. You have your game time, your maths journaling, but also bringing in STEM challenges now as well. Sometimes people are a little bit put off by STEM challenges or a little bit hesitant around them. Our STEM challenges are really, really simple, and they use absolutely everyday concrete materials. It's another one of the key features of Mighty Maths. All of the concrete materials you need, you will already have in your classroom. We do not require schools to go out and purchase additional resources. We use everyday classroom objects. It's counters, it's Unifix cubes, lollipop sticks, everyday things that every class in the country should have. Another feature for 1st and 2nd class is our problem-solving strategy, bringing in the STARS strategy that Stephanie spoke about already. So taking this sorting, thinking, acting, reviewing, and sharing model, it makes problem-solving much, much easier for teachers and children. It makes mathematical modeling easy to use and to understand, and it helps alleviate the maths anxiety that we're also so familiar with, where problem-solving, obviously, it's a key area of difficulty and always has been for primary school children. So using this STAR strategy, this really embeds their learning, making everything much more achievable. Onto the practice book then. This is another unique feature for Mighty Maths. What we've done here, we did an awful lot, conducted a huge amount of research on this, and what we discovered was the vast majority of schools in the country have a mental maths book, and they also have a supplementary maths book, so be it a shadow book, satellite book, practice book, whatever it may be called. What we've done here, the approach that we've taken with the practice book, is to consolidate those 2 books into one. So it has that familiar look and feel that you'd have with your mental maths book. It has that Monday to Friday approach. But unlike the mental maths books, as you'll all be familiar with, the children will encounter questions that you may not have covered yet in class, you may not be able to do. So you're either crossing off the questions or you're telling them to skip on with those. And invariably you're getting letters in from home from parents saying, oh, Johnny couldn't do this or Mary couldn't do that, what have you. because you hadn't taught that topic yet. What the practice book does is it reinforces the learning of the previous week's work. So again, consolidating that learning, it's constant practice, taking that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday approach. You have your Friday assessment, everything nice and achievable, really well laid out. And so for the price of one book, we've put 2 books into one. It's a great cost saver. It's a unique feature. It's a huge addition to Mighty Maths. On to pupil assessment then. So at all class levels, you have, as I've mentioned, you have your A4 pupil assessment booklet for all your structured termly assessment, your formal termly assessment, I should say. You have your maths journaling embedded in the pupils books at the end of every single section. You've got a huge amount of assessment support in the teacher's resource books, and all your rubrics and checklists are fully linked to the progression continua. Then the teacher's planning and resource books. So what we have here, you have your yearly and short-term plans all fully mapped to the new primary maths curriculum. You've detailed lesson plans going through the entire TRBs. All the playful learning experiences. Stephanie spoke about, obviously play is at the heart of Mighty Maths. It's at the heart of the new curriculum. Throughout every single unit in the pupils' books, there are several playful learning experiences. You may choose to do them all, you may choose to do a handful of them, but whatever you choose to do, you have all of your lesson planning for each of those playful learning experiences fully covered. You are fully supported with the teacher's resource books. You have supports and ideas for fostering a productive disposition towards maths, again, one of the 5 key pedagogies. You have full cross-curricular integration with all your other subjects. You have ideas for picture books, again, something that AJA heavily support and endorse is the teaching of maths through picture books. So we have picture books ideas go for each unit going through the teacher's resource books. All your assessment supports are in there as well. And lesson plans for multi-grade classes, what have you, is the only program that covers that fully. So you are fully covered with your teacher's resource books. Onto our printable resources. So all of your planning is fully editable. They're all available as Word documents, so you can edit, copy and paste them into your own planning template for your own school. All your playful learning experience supports are there for you. So you have these cards that you'll see on the screen to help with those playful learning experiences. You have extension work, extra practice. You've got additional problem solving for early finishers. So you can really push on the children, and if you feel that you need to, you have all that extension work fully available to you for those. You've got a huge bank of child-led play resources available for you to print out as well as tons of games, activities, task cards, maths trails, you name it. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of printable resources. You will not be stuck with Mighty Maths. For our digital library then, so several features here. We have a massive bank. I'm probably overusing the word massive and huge and what have you, but it's so exciting to see this stuff. Several of these are absolutely unique to Mighty Maths. Every single class level, I should say, you have between 8 and 10 interactive math stories. These math stories combine all 5 of the key pedagogies that Stephanie spoke about earlier on. They're phenomenal. No other program has them. They haven't really been used before. They're there to consolidate the learning, to reinforce the learning of every single concept. We have our innovative maths toolkit as well, where we have 16 tools. Some of them are open at the moment. I'll show an example of some of them for you. This is used all the way from junior infants to 6th class. It's really bright, really visual, really simple to use. You'll see an example of it now in a minute. We have our fun animated tutorials for 1st and 2nd class, introducing some of the trickier concepts. And I'll play one of these in a minute about subtraction with, I forget, you'll see it now in a second. Then we also have our original animated songs and rhymes. So we're not taking the 5 Little Frogs or 5 Little Ducks or any of the classic songs that you can find on YouTube to reinforce the learning. All of our songs are completely original. You won't have heard them before. They are earworms, I will warn you. You'll be going around singing them all day long, but they're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's the only program that has those. We also have over 150 interactive games and activities going from infants to 2nd class. These are linked into the pupils' books. You've got a huge amount. You've 40 or 40 plus games at every single class level. You will not be stuck for your interactive resources. And of course, you have ebooks of all the different books. So I'm just going to knock my camera off while I show you some examples of some of the games. We'll start with our math story. So hopefully this is showing for you.
It's early on Saturday morning, and Ava and Oscar are helping Dad to decorate the house for Senan's 10th birthday. They want the house to be fully decorated as a surprise when he arrives home from GAA training. Everyone has been very busy getting the house ready since 8 o'clock.
Okay, so we'll just pause the story there. Sorry, I hadn't realized I had actually muted myself, so I was talking while I was trying to explain. There are three different sections with the math stories here. These pull together the 5 key pedagogies. So you have the story mode that I played a bit up there. We'll now go on to some of the math size questions and then on to some of the pupils box questions. So
Can you see a set of 10? Count to check your answer.
okay, so it shows the various sets there. The children can come up. Lots of math size questions for you there. Going on to the pupil book questions. Just click into that. And all your questions here now are linking back into the pupils box.
There are 3 presents in the corner. Draw 7 more presents for Senan. How many presents does he have now?
Okay, so just some examples of some of the questions that link back into the pupils box. I'll go on to another one here now. As we're on the number 10, we'll have a look at one of the songs for senior infants. As I said, these are all completely original and absolutely beautiful.
La 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 la. La 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 la. Let's stop right there. It's time to count to 10. You have to stop and go and grab your pen. You have to write the number 10. It's everywhere, you know. We have to show the number 10. Now let's all have a go. Look around the room right now at all your friends and toys. Count to 10 from start to end, just don't make too much noise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is how we count to 10, like 10 toes on your feet. Now we have to write our 10, so jump out of your seat.
Okay, so an example of one of the songs there. Again, beautiful original songs. What else do we have here? Let's have a look at one of the games for senior infants. Again, with the games, the children can come up, they can choose their own avatar, choose their own character, come up, they can click and drag. Nice, easy game. Let's see, can we get them all right?
Next time.
Oh, unfortunately, I got that one wrong. Math's never my strong point. Let's have a look. Let's go to 5 and see how we get on.
That's right.
That's right. Well done. Okay. So an example of one of the games there, as I said, over 150 of those games and activities. We'll have a quick look at the toolkit. Where's our toolkit? Here. And as I said, these 16 tools, now we've 2 of them open at the moment. All of them will be available to you. So I'm just going to click, as we're just there in the senior infant one, we'll click on the 10 frame here. And we can see just some nice basic addition. The children can come up to the board themselves, have a look at this. Very simple, very bright, very visual. It's a great tool just to reinforce the learning. So we have our 10 frame, bringing our basic sums up. There we go. We'll have a quick look at our 3 bear families here again, just for sorting into sets. Again, some more basic addition. We have that there as well. So again, a lovely little tool. The other tool that we have open at the moment is to do with seasons, where you can get the children to come up in first and second class to sort out the months of the year into various seasons. You'll see one there as well for the senior classes when it goes into time zones. So there's calendars in there as well. So we just have 2 tools open on that at the moment. Obviously, and all adopting schools will have full access to all 16 of them. And I'll just finish up with the digital, having a look at our tutorial for first and second class.
John is eating his sweets. He had 2 full bags of 10 sweets each, and 2 sweets by themselves. Ma'am said he has to give 4 sweets to his brother Danny. How many sweets will John have left? We can solve this problem using a sum. We need to subtract Danny's 4 sweets from John's 22 sweets. First, we need to subtract the units. We have a rhyme to help us. More on top, no need to stop. More on the floor, go next door. Number is the same, 0's the game. We are trying to subtract 4 units from 2 units. To do this, we need to go next door. Let's rename one of our 10s 10 units. Now we have 12 units. We can take 4 away from 12.
There you go. So a nice tutorial on subtraction with renaming. Brilliant tool to use to introduce the concept, the trickier concepts that the children are going to come across. So just going to come back onto our main presentation. Hopefully we can see me there. Perfect. Now, hopefully that's coming on for you. Apologies. Now, there we go, we're back on. So as we get close to finishing up, Mighty Maths is the only program. So you've seen all the digital there, right? Phenomenal digital. You've seen all the key features in the pupils' books. Absolutely amazing. It's the only program on the market that has all of the following. It's the only program with those interactive math stories. I had muted everything at the start of that, so you missed the first few seconds. But they pulled together all 5 of the key pedagogies for the new curriculum. Phenomenal for reinforcing the children's learning. It's the only program on the market with the embedded maths journaling, heavily endorsed by IDGE. It's a core part of the new curriculum. It's there in every single pupil's book at the end of every section in the pupil's books. We're the only ones that give you the free learning journal in junior and senior infants with those QR codes, that brilliant homeschool link, reinforcing maths talk, maths eyes, really fun activities in there for your junior and senior infants. We're the only book that has that practice book, the optional practice book with the weekly structure for first and second class that you're all familiar with through your mental maths books. A game changer, really. The only scheme that brings you those fun animated tutorials, introducing those trickier concepts in a nice, fun, child-friendly, peer-to-peer way. And we're the only program that has that innovative, easy-to-use maths toolkit. I should say all of those digital resources that I just showed you there, they're all available for you to have a look at on gilleducation.ie. So please feel free to go on there, click on Mighty Maths, click your class level. You'll see all of those digital resources. Have a play around with the toolkit, listen to all the songs, the stories, the tutorials, some sample planning there for you as well. It's all there, gilleducation.ie. You'll find everything you need. So to finish up, for my part, why should you choose Mighty Maths? Well, as Stephanie said, it's been written by experienced practicing teachers and maths experts. It ticks all the boxes for the new primary maths curriculum. As our authors teach the class levels that they've written for, it's completely engaged with the realities of the busy classroom. It integrates the 5 key pedagogical practices of the new primary maths curriculum. All your learning outcomes, mathematical concepts, and progression continua have been carefully unpacked for you. So the work is done for you, basically. And ultimately, it is the best value, and we 100% believe the best program for the new primary maths curriculum. So thank you very much for your time. That's the end of my section of the presentation. I'm going to invite Natalie and Miriam. So Natalie is our second class author and Miriam our junior infant author on. We've had a few questions. I've been checking the questions as they've been coming in. So it's been double jobbing here this evening. So thanks very much for coming on, Natalie and Miriam. How are we on time? Just check my watch here. Okay, we're just after 7:15. We'll get through as many questions as we can, and we'll make sure we get everyone out around the 7:30 mark, if that's okay. So first question that has come in, this has come in from Robin. I'm guessing, Miriam, as you're the infant author, this may be for you. How does your program deal with number in junior and senior infants?
Thanks, David. So in junior infants, we cover the numbers 1 to 5, and in senior infants, we're doing 6 to 10 in terms of addition, in terms of numeral formation. But of course, there's so much counting on activities with those numbers. I think the other big thing is that there's lots of extension activities. So if the teachers and the children feel they're confident in moving on with those numbers, there's lots of activities there for them. I think something that we were so conscious about when we were planning the whole program is the whole idea of maths anxiety, and particularly for those children who have come through that kind of COVID times. So when we were planning, we consulted in so many experts on the progression steps. And I suppose we believe that our approach is definitely the most effective, and it's the most that shows the spirit, like it's the spirit of the maths curriculum. It's meaningful learning, and I suppose all of the milestones are given enough time as well. In terms of, I suppose, numeral formation then, and I know David, you spoke about it, it's something I love is that in each number chapter, there's a numeral formation lesson. I've been a junior infant teacher for a number of years now, and I think it's just so important. And the activities themselves, the lesson themselves, they're engaging, they're exciting, and they're also meaningful. So we're doing lots of things of Play-Doh, there's tracing, there's the number formation rhymes, both in the book and the oral resources and supports, and rainbow writing, of course, which is really nice to help children to recognize numerals as well as learning to write them. So yeah, I think it's the fun, it's exciting, but it's really meaningful, and it's I suppose in the spirit of the new maths curriculum.
Okay, brilliant, that's great. Thanks very much, Maria. We've got a few questions on the next one. I think Sylvia was quickest out of the blocks with this one, so thanks, Sylvia. A split class of first and second. Can you tell me more, kind of going into the multigrade and how we've planned for that and how we approach multigrade? As she's first and second, Natalie, do you want to take that as our second class author?
Yeah, perfect. Well, as Stephanie mentioned earlier, some of us have taught in a multigrade classroom, so we are well aware of the challenges that multigrade teaching poses for the teachers in terms of planning and the delivery of lessons. So while creating Mighty Maths, we kept this in mind, and we wrote the plans and designed the program so that junior infants and senior infants and first and second class are covering the same strand units at the same time, which makes it much easier for teachers in multigrade classes. So if we're teaching length in first class, we're also teaching it in second class. So we hope that this helps with the practicalities of teaching two classes at the one time.
Okay, perfect, that's great. The next one's for me. Quite a pointed question. You mentioned best value. Can you expand? Straight into the point. That's from Angela. Thanks, Angela. You mentioned best value. Absolutely. Look, I spoke with the practice book. It combines two books that you may be already using for half the price. You'll spend over €20 on those two books. This is $9.95. It halves the price for you. Also, on top of that, our core pupils books. Look, we've written this and we priced it accordingly in anticipation, unfortunately, of potentially the book grant being reduced whenever the department decides to announce that. But we know funds are tight in school. So we've priced our pupils books accordingly, and our pupils books are up to €4 cheaper than the competition. So our scheme is without question the best value on the market. We are saving money with this. You don't need to purchase any additional concrete resources for the classroom, and our books are more affordable. It is the best value scheme. You look at the amount of digital that we offer as well, completely free of charge. You're getting a bargain with Mighty Maths, if I say so myself. I have another one here, so I hope that answered your question, Angela. Next one is from Anita, and Anita asks, how do we approach the homeschool links in the program? I guess kind of linking back to the infants, possibly here. Miriam, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, so I suppose, as you mentioned, David, the homeschool links book comes free for junior and senior infants. It's a really nice way to, I suppose, engage parents and guardians with what's going on in maths for their children. There's Maths Eyes and there's Maths Talk in in the book. What I really like is there's a little note at the bottom of each page explaining to the parent or the guardian what the child has been learning in school. Just something small, I suppose, as an infant teacher or all teachers, like, what did you do in school? Not sure, don't know. It's just a nice way to engage the parents and let them know what we're doing. There's also the QR codes, so parents or guardians can scan that, listen to the songs, you can sing them at home together, and also the numeral formation rhymes again will be there for the parent or the guardian to engage with. So it just makes it fun, and it kind of makes it exciting and straightforward.
Okay, that's great. Thanks, Miriam. I think we probably just have time for one last question. Just looking at the clock here. Natalie, this is, again, a couple of people asked it. I think it's to do with micromaths. It seems to have been a bit of a hot topic with training, and obviously most people on the webinar have had their training now. So how do we approach micromaths, I suppose, open-ended questions, etc.? Do you want to take that one?
Yeah, thanks, David. Yeah, there's a huge emphasis on open-ended questions and tasks throughout the new curriculum. These are questions with more than one answer. They're high ceiling, low threshold tasks. So each child can access the task at their own level of ability, which is natural differentiation in action in the classroom. So they are really beneficial. We hope we have taken the work out of creating and searching for these tasks. We have embedded open-ended tasks throughout the whole of the Mighty Maths programme. Stephanie mentioned some of them earlier. We have odd one out activities, headline stories, always, sometimes, never. They're kind of maths talk activities, and many other open-ended tasks that you might have become familiar with through your training, or you will see in the micromaths section on the IJA Hub. The first and second class digital stories are followed by an open-ended task in the pupils book. So we hope that this takes the stress out of all of the planning and organising of your lessons for the new curriculum.
Perfect, that's great. Well, guys, I'm just looking at the time. We're coming up to 25 past. I don't think we'll have time for any more questions. But I just want to thank everyone on the call here. We had over 376 at the end. Phenomenal attendance, so thank you all for coming on. I hope you found it informative. If you have any questions that you asked tonight, if we didn't get around to answering them, your rep will be in touch with you over the coming days to make sure that those questions are fully answered. And just to remind you, as soon as the webinar is over, you'll get a short survey to answer. So if you can answer that, as I said, we have 3 hampers to give away, so 3 lucky winners will get a lovely hamper, a Tea Time Treats hamper. Tomorrow, you're going to get a link with contact details for your local rep who can give you more information on Mighty Maths. Or if you'd like to book an appointment, a presentation for your rep to come into the school, we have a special prize on offer for one lucky school somewhere in the country. So any school that books in a presentation before the end of May, before May 31st, will be entered into a draw to win a maths workshop for your students to the value of €1,000. It's a company called Learn It. Will come out to your school, wherever you are in the country, do a full day with all of your pupils based with maths tasks based around the new curriculum. It's €1,000 value. Someone's going to win it. So if every single presentation that's booked in automatically enters the draw to win that Learn It €1,000 maths workshop prize. Phenomenal prize. We'll also be sending on a recording of tonight's webinar to all of you over the next week or so. So feel free to absolutely pass this around to all of your colleagues. And again, on behalf of our authors here, to all of the people from Gill, I want to thank you once again for taking the time to join us this evening. So take care and good night.